Welcome, basketball fans. Today we are going to be listening to different account of stories from NBA legends about Larry Bird's spectacular, insane 60-point game back in 1985 going up against the Atlanta Hawks. So before we get into this story, I want to give a quick shout out to Manscaped. All right, folks, get ready for the ultimate grooming showdown. Manscaped is bringing its starting five to take your game to the next level. The chaos of March is here, and you better be ready to dominate whether you are throwing down on the court or you're throwing down a reality check on Steve from accounting after you airballs another presentation. Either way, this lineup has you covered from head to toe. Stay sharp and feel sharper with Manscaped all season long. Team, this lineup is built for winners, so don't let your grooming game get bitched. Head over to manscaped.com and use code ItzJP for 20% off and free shipping. So you better get ready to score big with Manscaped. And now, here is your starting lineup for your world champion Manscaped. And guard the floor general, delivering smooth moves like a perfect assist like Magic Johnson. We have the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. And the other guard, slick and dynamic, delivering a face shave as smooth as Michael Jordan scoring a basketball. We have the Chairman Plus. At small forward, compact and clutch, you're quick, precise for critical moments in terms of clutchness and scoring. We have the Handyman. At the other four, big time power for your big bills. This beast crushes even the toughest stubborn with adjustable precision, like Charles Barkley going coast to coast for a slam dunk. We have the Bill Hedger. And the big guy in the middle, dominating the paint, keeping your scalp so smooth you'll never get dunked on by stray hairs like Shaquille O'Neal dunking in the NBA Finals. We have the Dome Shaver Plus. And the head coach of the Manscaped team is you, the men around the world. Be the all-star of your grooming routine with Manscaped Full Power Shave Portfolio. Head over to manscaped.com and use code ItzJP to get 20% off and free shipping. Or if you need it today, you can go find Manscaped at a store near you. Don't miss this opportunity. Your face and balls will thank you for the championship. Enjoy the story.
Tell us about it, Sneak. Tell us about Larry Bird.
Seems like you have some experience on this topic.
Tell us.
A lot of experience. I give you a game. Well, Kevin McHale scored 57 one night.
It was a game where I had been playing well for a while and really had a flow where the basket looks big. You step on the floor, you go through warm-ups. As soon as the game starts, the basket looks like it increases in size. And the points just kept piling up, and I kept getting the ball in good situations and scoring it. You know, before you knew it, I looked up on the board, and back in the old Garden, they had the runner that went in the back there, and it said new Celtic team record. I was like, wow, I didn't know that was capable. I thought it was Havlicek and, the great Celtics of old. I thought, wow, that's really something.
Here's the man of the hour, Kevin McHale, 56 points in the afternoon.
And he had about 3 or 4 minutes to go in the game, and we were up by a pretty good margin, and he asked the coach to take him out. And
Larry came up and said, hey, man, you got to roll and you got to stay in the game. If I get a chance, believe me, I'm not stopping. And so I said, that's all right. And I went over and sat down.
I happened to be standing there, and I told him he better go for 60 because 56 is not enough. That will be broken.
And Larry told McHale, and he publicly put it out there, I'm gonna outdo that score. I'm gonna outscore you the next time we play.
So Bird said, I'm going to break your record against Atlanta. Yeah. I'm like, won't get 55, not here.
A few short days later, he had his chance and he kept going.
Yeah, I remember every bit of it. I had a lot of problems with my hamstrings before that game. When we went to New Orleans I think it was on a Sunday or Monday, the day of the game, I got up and I couldn't hardly move. And the reason for that is I ran in a 5-mile race. It was either on that Sunday or Saturday back home. Once a year, we had this run in a right in the middle of the season, and I always loved to go outdoors and run, and I always participated in it. But for some reason this time my hamstrings got real tight. And before the game, I was over an hour and a half before the game, doing everything I could to get loose.
We were playing New Orleans because Ted Turner had sold a buddy of his 12 games in New Orleans. So we played 12 games in New Orleans.
You were playing the Hawks, and it was one of those times they were playing some home games down in New Orleans.
And it was in a neutral site. And I know that Larry was always telling the ball boys, hey, go find out the scoring record. As he was getting taped on the tape table, he would always say, hey, go find out the scoring record in this gym.
And finally, right before game time, they felt really good and played. And
I walked on the court, and we're playing the Celtics. And he tells me, yeah, big fella, you're in a little trouble tonight. Well, I was coming from Italy. I had a pretty good season, so I'm like, who does he think he's talking to? I'm the big dog. You don't get this. So he made a few moves. I stole the ball from him. I went down, took off, dunked on his head hard. Boom.
And he has some talent at 6'9", 240.
He really does.
Came down another one. Boom. Yeah, baby Hulk's my behind. You in trouble. And I'm running my mouth, which I shouldn't have done. I guess I got him fired up. And then Dominique obviously got him fired up because Dominique was scoring at will. Larry just decided, that's it. I'm finna light this whole team up.
Free chili.
He got so hot in that game.
And he just got on fire.
You talk about that patented step back. He was doing that step back, and he switched it to his left hand 3 separate times in that game and hit a 3. He was scoring anywhere on the floor.
Larry, that game was unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable. Dominique guarded him. Cliff guarded him. Antoine Carr guarded him. I guarded him.
Ricky Brown guarded him. Sly Williams guarded him. I mean, everybody had some of that 60. He gave everybody. It was like he just spread the wealth to everyone.
Who's top dog in the kennel?
A lot of people don't realize Larry was a big trash talker because a lot of people back then, there was no social media. So you just saw what he would produce and you would see the stats, in the paper. But man, Larry would talk some trash and then back it up and tell you exactly what he's going to do and then do it.
He start calling the shots. He starts saying off the glass, who's next, where you want this one from. And he just made one after another.
We're on the free throw line, and he literally says, left side over across the 3, and you're listening to him. That's a tough feeling.
Can't guard me, man. Hey, go get some more people out of the crowd because evidently you glued to the floor, man.
That's why I say it's not trash talking, because he's actually doing it to you.
Shot the ball extremely well that night. People always say, well, how do you know how many points you had? Well, you didn't have to keep track of them. You never do. You just play the game. But the announcer let me know every time I scored. So he go 48, 50, 52.
And when he got to about the 55th point, you knew it was something special.
He was so good that night that the Hawks were giving each other 5.
He makes a jump shot, and the Atlanta players are high-fiving each other like, man, this guy's so hot.
The guys on the Atlanta bench.
They got fined for that, I heard.
Yeah. Watch this. Watch the reactions on the Atlanta bench. You see Scotty Hastings put
laughing. Yeah, when you get
watch Cliff Livingston over here. I think this is Cliff.
The Atlanta Hawks bench reacted.
We were
Have you
all
seen that
watching that.
video?
I did a few years ago.
God.
Somebody was telling me about it.
To me, that's trash
Oh,
talking
that was good.
by the way you play.
Yes.
Because when you got the other bench reacting to what you're doing against them, it's spectacular.
His last shot, he said,
Rainbow trainer's lap.
coming down the court, which meant it was going to be a 3 and it was going to be awful days. And then he said, who wants it?
And Antoine let him get the ball, and he was shooting the 3. And Antoine ran at him hard, fouled him,
hit the shot.
So well that it's like he almost dunked on me because the ball went down through the net and you could hear that pow.
He fell into our trainer's lap. It was an N1 3-point shot. That's when I got off the bench. I'm waving the towel, slapping each other high fives down the bench, and we having a good time.
So it was exactly what he said. It was an accident, but it was almost fate. And they show a shot of our bench. Cliff and Eddie Johnson are standing up, giving each other high fives. It was pretty awful.
Next play, when we come out, I'm going to win the game on this spot, and I'm going to bust you right in your face. Right? You come out, that spot, shoot,
Game over.
60, and that's what I did.
Guys have scored 60 points before, but the way he was getting those 60, falling down, falling out of bounds, I mean, it was incredible.
I knew I could get 56, 57, but I didn't know about 60, so I think Kevin made a big mistake. He should try to get 60, 62, because he had plenty of time left.
How about your teammates? What kind of things do they say to you?
I think everybody
that normally happens every day.
That's true, and the teammates are awful gracious as a part of it. You see how they acted after the game. But I don't think it really matters who does it, just as long as it's done and everybody gets a big thrill of it. I don't think anybody at the time realized I had that many points, but still, the records are made to be broken, and it just happened tonight.
Bird has 60 points. Larry Bird scored 60 points. Look at the Boston players mob him. Larry Bird scored 60. It is the greatest shooting exhibition I've ever seen in my life.
That night was not awesome. He had to go back to the room. Mike Fratello, instead of going out to eat, he had a team meeting.
It was the best film session. Every time when I see Mike, we still laugh.
God,
it was
so good.
It was the greatest film session ever, because back then you didn't have, you watched the real game and just went, with a video, and Mike rewound the celebration 20 times. He just kept, not the shot, he just kept rewinding it. And our film session was 20 minutes of that. And Fratello wouldn't let it go. He just kept rewinding. And it was...
I made sure every one of them get fined $3,000. And all them idiots right there, for cheering for him,
It's almost like they bought a ticket to the game.
Man, I couldn't believe it, man.
So Fratello told me, Ricky Brown, Sly Williams, Eddie Johnson to meet in his room after we get out, after we get settled in our room, come up to his room. And we went up there. He had the game on. We sit on the couch, elbowing each other, like laughing. Just, man, look at that, look at that. Mike Patel said, man, look at him. He's kicking our tail, just wearing us out. And you guys on the bench high-fiving each other. That's going to cost each one of you guys $100. I left out of the room and said, that's the best $100 seat I ever had.
So I went down and fined all four of them.
They got fined $3,000, right?
Yes.
Now, we watching the film the next day, and we looking at everybody. Now, Fratello fined everybody $3,000, but what y'all didn't see was he was sitting down like,
and you should have filed Fratello $10,000. Because can't he call a double team? Can't you get it out of his hands, coach?
Even the coach was like, ooh.
But I paid him back.
Larry, put on a show that night.
Larry was a phenomenon. I ain't never seen anybody like him that not super athletic, but he beat you in so many ways. Yeah. And they didn't even talk about 40-something I had. They said, he had 60, bro. But he was something else, man. And just super smart basketball. But he had a heart of a lion, man.
Yeah.
And so when I hear people compare it to him, I laugh. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Great story from all the different NBA legends about Larry Bird's 60-point game. If you definitely like this video, make sure you leave a like at the end. Make sure you comment down below your thoughts. Make sure you subscribe to ItzJustJP for more stories and content. I'm JP, and we'll see you in the next video.